Yep, I can take the slam. Yo, what's up everybody? In today's video I want to talk about the build which is rising in popularity, and this is Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. Before saying anything about the build, I'm gonna quickly run the map just to show you how the build feels in endgame. It's nothing special, I just want to say that one of the big things that I love about this build, beyond the power, the speed and the fun that we get out of it, is the fact that we can run pretty much any combination of map modifiers, so I'm running my maps unidentified when this is not tier 17 maps. Let's go quickly over this one. The gameplay, basically, you just activate your Bladefall at the beginning of the map, and then you never pay attention to that anymore. And by doing that, you're gonna get your souls from Soul Eater. You can see that at the first pack of mobs, I got full stack right away. And then you are using Soul Sacrifice, but like for normal packs, usually you don't even need to cast that. Just Lightning Warp can kill stuff. And with the Chain Explosion from the Occultist, it's clearing like very fast very well, just like that. You can just blast through map very fast. It's really the best build that I've played in a very long time. It's not necessarily like if you compare this build to like Armor Stacker or very endgame builds, where you put like multiple mirror in them, it's maybe not as strong, but it's so freaking fast. And also for Mercenaries, it's really good. Like the fact that you have Chaos Inoculation, good life pool and defense, this is really good. So just to show you how fast, and boom, they are dead. The Mercenaries, they are not an issue anymore with this build. Team maps right there. Go kill the boss quickly. I can show you the breach, why not? You're just like warping around with Lightning Warp. If there is anything that is a bit more tanky, you cast Soul Sacrifice, but like for most packs, it's really not necessary. Of course, on tier 17s and hard content, you are going to use Forbidden Rite, but let's move on. And this is the boss, and there we go. So the first thing that you need to know about the build is the curse setup, because this is the core mechanic of the build with the amulet and so on. I'm gonna speak about gears in general, everything that you need to know. I made a video about leveling this build because you can feel that it's a bit complex, the interaction between the ring and your gun setup. It's actually very simple. I'm gonna go over that right now, but if you didn't watch the video and you want to know how to level the build easily, you can watch my previous video. Probably the link is going to be on top of the screen right now, and you're gonna have the link in the description, so you can find that at the end of the video if you want to watch that. So how does it work? We have this ring that gives us 1 soul when a curse expires on enemy, and so we are reducing the curse duration as much as possible, so we gain soul really fast. You don't need, like, you're supposed to have 0.7 second for your curse duration and below to make sure that it works. You cannot be higher than that, but you don't need to be concerned about that. It can be a bit frightening to For people who don't know the game really well and think, oh, it's a complex interaction, I'm not going to get it to work, it's going to be too complex, I'm going to mess up the build and so on. It's very simple. You need the ring, you need blade full of Tartus to have the spell applying the curse all the time. You can see it's falling like every 0.7 second. And you need these three passives on the skill tree and this one with the anointment. And with that, you get Temporal Chain, which is the curse that we apply. Hex Touch, level 1. Less duration, as high as possible. I don't have the quality on it, but I should definitely get that, by the way. Any level is going to be fine, but of course, if you have quality and a higher level, is going to be better. Swift Affliction, level 1. And that's it. Bladeful, you don't need to level up. You can level if you have the dexterity, but this is not necessary. So my point here is that the setup is really easy to put together. It's really not like... It can feel a bit complex because there's lots of interaction, but actually, Bladeful, Swift Affliction level 1, less duration at any level, quality, the higher the better, Temporal Chain level 1, and Hex Touch level 1. Very easy. You just do that. You don't need to think to check anything. You just do that with the passive that I did show you on the tree. The anointment for this one is 2 opalescence and 1 indigo oil, so it's slightly expensive. I guess this is around like 20 chaos or something like that. I don't think that I have an opalescent right now to check the price, but yeah, it's probably very affordable. And then you don't need anything else. This is the base, what you need for the build. I'm gonna speak quickly about the gears, and then we're gonna see the cost, because one of the questions that I had a lot is how much the build costs, what's the entry price, and it's actually really cheap for what you can do with the build. I'm considering right now to be in the medium level for the investment. I'm probably around 80 to 120 divines, I'm not sure exactly. I want to mention that the Watcher die that you can see on the PoB is not being used for bosses that you see in the beginning of the video. I wanted to keep the cost a bit lower than, like, Watcher's Eye, they can become really expensive at some point with some modifiers, so I didn't use it in the boss fights just to show something more realistic for some players. So what do we need and how much does it cost? You need the amulet. This is one you can swap from the fire setup that I'm showing on the leveling setup from the previous video to Forbidden Rite. Without that, you're gonna have Forbidden Rite removing life from your build, and you need too much life recovery and sustain to be able to use that. It's not gonna be comfortable, it's gonna be too much investment. As long as you are not level 74, because this is the bare minimum level that you need for the amulet, you're not gonna be able to play the build with Forbidden Rite. You just keep doing it with the fire setup until you get the amulet. Level 74. So 74 is when you start playing with Forbidden Rite, but before you can use the curse setup for sure. This is really nice. This is really strong and fast. It's a bit weak in terms of defense, but there's stuff that you can do to manage that. So you start with the curse setup. You need the ring, of course. This one is really cheap. It's 20 chaos at the moment, I believe. Yes, 20 chaos. The gloves, you really don't need like for the end game, of course, you want this kind of gloves, which is going to be between 15 divines to like 50, 70, 80 if you really want the top end. These I bought for 25 divines, if I remember correctly. Awakened Spell Echo is an expensive part of it. It's going for 50, 60 divines. It's rising every day. But you can just use the normal Spell Echo. It's going to be fine. So if you don't have the gloves like that, you just go with the normal links, and it's going to be just fine for like getting started with the build. The belt you need, the boots you need also, especially if you're using the belt, because since you're changing your power charge into absorption charges, you need the boots to be capped with your power charge. So make sure that when you buy the Ralakesh, since they got changed last this league, you need the one that gives you maximum power charge. Really important. Don't buy the Frenzy or the Endurance charge. The Endurance charge are going to be more expensive anyway, and I believe the power may be the cheapest. I don't know. I didn't check the Frenzy charge, but make sure that you get this version. Malakai's Loop, also really good for the build. Again, this one really cheap if you don't care about the roll. 1 chaos. The Amulet without anything, 5 chaos. Void Battery, again, really good for the build, 20 chaos. The Helm, if you don't have the money, don't go for the max power charge. I would advise though to get the 5%. It's really cheap, you see 3-4 chaos on average. But the power charge, if you take the power charge, it's going to be expensive. 18 Divines, they went down a bit. 21, 23 with the 5%. So definitely go for that. If you can, as much as possible, try to get high energy shield on the gears that have energy shield. Like for the Malakai's Loop, don't go for it if it's expensive, but try to get as much energy shield as you can. Same for the Helm, because energy shield is really important for the build. On the ring, the other ring that we are using, try to get as much dexterity as you can. Strength is nice as well, but dexterity, we are starving for dexterity, and we need dexterity for many gems. So this is nice. One thing about the gems here, I'm using clarity and precision because I have the Watcher's Eye. Don't go for clarity and precision if you don't have this one. Mana doesn't matter whatsoever in the build. We are not using mana at all except for auras. So stacking any kind of mana doesn't matter because we are reserving mana with a percentage aura, not flat mana. So precision, you can add it if you have some mana left after your reservation, but if you are not using these, you can be fine with Enlightened 3. Enlightened 3 is enough to give you Purity of Element, 0-3, and Discipline. And one other thing about the auras, right now I'm testing out the Mercenary with Aspect of the Spider. So I did put some gears that enhance the effect of Aspect of the Spider, but it's also giving me Grace. So if you don't have this Mercenary, there's 2 Mercenary that we want. There is one that gives us Grace, and the other is the one that gives us 0-3. I didn't find, since I started to play this character, I didn't find, or I didn't pay attention enough to find the one that gives us 0-3, so I don't know what's on top of the aura, what it gives us. Maybe it's better. I need to check, I need to find it and see what it can afford. Also, this is not the best one that I have right now. This is Bladecaster. The best ones are the Infamous. If you check this one, which is good, this is the Infamous Kinetist. If they have the Infamous, this is the best version of the Mercenary. So the one that I have right now, it's not Infamous. It's not the best. So I need to find the other one. Once I find it, you can swap the gears, so it's fine. The body armor is a bit expensive, so if you want to go for that setup, just know that this one is a bit expensive. The boots and the helm are not so expensive. It's like 5 to 20 chaos. This one is like 10. And the boots here, yeah, 20, 30 chaos. So this is a nice setup just to finish on the Mercenary so we can get rid of it. The amulet is really not that meaningful here. I had that laying around and I was not sure what to use. I just put that here quickly. There's probably better options for us. I need to check what we can do with that. But just to finish on the aspect of the spider, the boots are giving us an additional spider web on enemies. The helm makes it that aspect of the spider also hinders the enemy, and the body armor makes it that the enemies affected by the spider webs, they deal 10% reduced damage. They have -10 to all resistances, and this is not elemental resistances. This is also chaos. This is all resistances, so this is really good. And there's also some array of effects, so you have more coverage with the spider webs. That's nice. So this is for the setup that I'm using for the Mercenary. Now back to the gears. What else do we absolutely need? Something that I want to mention, and this is going to be really helpful, I think, for people who are starting and who don't really know much about the game. Maybe something that you want to pay attention, like the energy shield pool is really important. Even when you are not swapped with the amulet already. When you're starting, like after the campaign, you will want to find a good body armor with a good amount of energy shield. So you can swap to Chaos Inoculation as fast as possible. Just for the people who don't know, Chaos Inoculation reduce your maximum life to 1 and you're fully spec'd into Energy Shield, but you don't take Chaos damage anymore. This is really strong, but you need a good Energy Shield pool to be able to use that. I would say when you finish the campaign and you start to do like white maps and yellow maps with like 4-5k energy shield, that's kind of enough. Like with discipline and a good body armor, it should be achievable. But I wanted to show you the trade side. So what you would do to achieve that, in the energy shield, you put probably something like 500 minimum. But mostly, since it's gonna be an intelligence base, the colors that we need on the body armor, it's gonna be difficult to get. So make sure to look for the colors first, because with corrupted items, it's really easy to get off colors on body armor. So you probably want to buy something like that. So you want 1 red, 3 greens, and 2 blue. And you want a body armor. So maybe you can do, instead of 400, maybe 300 is going to be better. And as you can see, 5 chaos items. This is really affordable. Definitely go for something like that. On top of that, what do you need for the build? The red nightmare is really not mandatory. You don't need this one. It's a bit expensive also, 3 divines and up. Don't go for it if you don't have the investment, because on top of that, you also need the tattoos to make use of this one. So definitely don't go for that if you're on a budget. The timeless jewel is really nice. If you don't have the money, don't go for the modifiers with devotion. Like the increased defense is nice, the elemental resistance is nice, but it's not necessary. Just go for 30, 35 chaos, 40 chaos. It's really affordable. Just make sure that you go for the one which is conquered by Dominus, because otherwise you won't have the inner conviction. You need inner conviction to use this timeless jewel. The other ones, they are useless for us. It is giving us more damage per power charge. So with the Ralakesh, it works perfectly. And then you can take advantage of the belt as well as the power charge. So I think this is pretty much what you need for the build. This is like the cost, the entry level for the build, I believe, is between like 1 and 5 divines for the bare minimum to work. And it should feel pretty decent already with that. Like most of the items, they are not too expensive, but then if you want to invest and go much further, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So I like the occultist a lot. You have, as you've seen in the map showcase, the pop from the explosion is feeling really amazing. You have lots of regeneration on top of everything that we have already. This is also feeling pretty good. The AoE, the max power charge, the minus chaos resistance, I don't know, there's so much quality of life, damage, and everything with this ascendancy. I just love this one, honestly. I didn't speak about the clusters. Once you have more money, because the cluster, they are expensive. Like, I'm not using the proper clusters for the build because they are just so expensive. I find it ridiculous to pay the money that you need for the clusters. As you can see, mine, they are not too expensive. They are like 70 chaos to 1 divine. They went up a bit. The cluster that we are supposed to use, they go with the notable Dark Creation, Unholy Grace, and Unwavering Evil. These are going for like 6 to 8 divines on average, and I think this is just too expensive for what you get out of them. The difference with what I'm using right now is not that big, and it's definitely not worth like 5 to 6 divines. For the medium cluster, they are not so expensive. This is a little bit of money as well, but once you have the money, definitely go for that. It's 70-80 chaos just for the notables here. If you can, get as much attribute as you can. This is the most important aspect. You want dexterity and intelligence. It's nice to have some intelligence as well, because this is giving us some energy shield back. But dexterity mostly. Strength works. I don't believe eventually resistance is really an issue, so you don't really want the resistance. Chaos resistance does nothing for us, so don't buy the clusters with chaos resistance. We are CI, so definitely don't do that. Now, just for the last part of the build, there's a few things that I didn't mention. And the first is the balance of terror. This one, the modifier that matters here is inflict wither for 2 seconds on hit if you've cast Despair in the last 10 seconds. So Despair is the curse, we cast it, for 10 seconds we are going to apply Wither. For the people who don't know, Wither is a debuff that increases chaos damage taken, and it can be applied up to 15 times. So with the amount of projectile and the speed that we have, especially when we have the Solitaire buff, which is going to give us 225 increased cast speed. This is a lot. We are going to reach the 15 stacks in like 1 second, and this is a lot of damage. So you don't need to cast Despair every second. If for every pack of mobs, you only use that for very strong enemies. Even for bosses, usually I don't do that. It's really for really strong enemies. And this one cost a little bit, I believe. Yeah, 6 divine. So again, this one, you can skip that if you don't have the investment. And then a quick word about the last gem setup that I didn't speak about. And maybe the gloves for crafting these. There's Enhance and Withering Step and Automations. And this is going to help us apply Wither a bit more consistently when we don't want to cast Despair. This is also going to grant us Elusive, which is giving us 15 chance to avoid all damage from hits, 30% increased movement speed, and this is decreasing over time the effect of Elusive. So this is a nice setup for the build. We also use Immortal Call and cast when damage taken. Level 1, you can go a bit higher than that if you want. I didn't feel the need to level the gems. But you can go probably around level between 3 and 8 to have it consistently applied when you take damage. This is just defensive. Summon Stone Golem is quite a lot of extra energy shield. I don't have quality on it. The quality gives it a 20% increased buff effect. As you can see, without the golem, I'm at 10k.4 energy shield, and with the golem, I'm going to almost 11k. And for crafting the glove, the last part, what you do, you want to do that on a base with quality. I believe this would be better. And the Warlock gloves, you could go with the gloves with the implicit spell damage, but I think I prefer to have a bit more energy shield than the spell damage, so this is why I went with the Warlock gloves. You want, I believe, item level 84, and you are going to craft with Essence of Horror. So you don't buy the gloves with Shaper Influence or Elder Influence, maybe it's going to be more expensive. Now we have the orb to apply, the Exalted Orb to apply Shaper or Elder Influence. The last time I checked, it was like 30 KO, so it's really cheap. So you buy the base with the quality 25 and beyond, maybe like 30 quality is going to be too expensive, but pretty sure that 26 27 quality is going to be fine. And if you check Shaper, the Shaper Exalted Orb, there we go for Chaos, 34 Chaos. And the Elder one is even cheaper. If we type Elder here, yeah, it's actually the same. On the trade website, they are a bit cheaper. Well, last time I checked, it was 27 chaos, but it's fine. So you buy the base with quality, you apply the influence that you want on it, and then you buy another gloves with the other type of influence. If you slime the Shaper, you buy another pair of gloves with the Elder influence, and vice versa. If you just to be able to have the two influence. Then you buy Awakener's Orb, 320 chaos. This is going to be a bit expensive, but the craft is expensive anyway. So this is really for the people who know what they are doing. Then you take the orb, you click the gloves that you don't want to keep first, and then you click the glove that you are keeping. It's going to import the influence from the first glove that you click to the next one. And so you are going to end up with these gloves with two influence, Shaper and Elder. Then what you do, you buy Essence of Horror. That's gonna be where it starts to be expensive, because you're gonna need to slam. It's 25 per click, and you're gonna need a lot of them, like probably around like 80 or something. It depends on your luck. You can hit the first time and finish the craft just like that. Maybe sometime with 10 is gonna be enough. I failed mine many times, and I ended up spending like 50 divines for nothing. So. Difficult craft, but you start slamming the gloves, and what you want is to get all. When you slam the Essence of Aura, it's going to be giving you the modifier Socketed Gems have 3.5% critical strike chance, and you slam it until you get or crit multi. You can get tier 3, 2, and 1. It's going to be 30, 50, and 70. 30 is really not enough. It doesn't justify the price we are paying here, so you want at least 50, but 70 is really nice. And then the other modifier that we want while slamming is the faster casting. Ideally, you want the level 20, but 18 is fine, 16 is really mediocre. I did roll over the 16. What you can do, you need an open prefix, I believe. Let me double check. You want a craft, suffix cannot be changed. You want an open prefix and an open suffix, actually, because if you have just one of the two, or cast speed or critical strike multiplier, if you slam the two of them, this is perfect and you're done. But it's really not likely that it's gonna happen. As you can see, all the suffixes that you are looking for the first part of the craft, they are all suffixes. So you need, if you hit one of the two, faster casting or critical multi, you need an open suffix to be able to get the other one. So you need an open prefix and open suffix, and this is where it gets expensive, because sometimes you're gonna hit the right modifier, but then you need to annul. And when I did the craft myself, I annulled every time the wrong modifier. This is why it ended up to be really expensive for me. But once you get to have an open suffix and an open prefix, then you craft cannot be changed, and then you go to the harvest bench, the regular thing that people do, and you craft, if you have the crit multi, you are going to craft caster, and it's really likely to give us faster casting. You could get cast speed, because with the Elder Influence, there's just without the support, there's cast speed, the regular modifier. So you have a chance to get that. This is annoying, but this is what it is. But if you have faster casting already, then you do critical. And I believe critical, you're guaranteed to get the crit multiplier. You're gonna hope that you're gonna hit tier 1, of course, but you can get tier 2 or tier 3. Tier 3 again, if you hit that, for me, it's a reroll. There is something that I want to mention here that you should really do and consider when you are doing this craft. Sometimes you hit lower roll, like tier 3 for your modifiers. This is not the end of the world if you are lucky enough to hit another modifier that you don't want. For instance, let's say you get the modifier supported by trap damage or something like that, that we really don't want, but you have like tier 2 or tier 3 cast speed. Then you can use the Orb of Dominance to try to raise the tier of the modifier that you have that is too low, and to remove the one that you don't want. It's double win. If you use that one and you hit the right modifier, if you want, you can even try, if you have tier 1, to elevate the modifier to supported gem by level 25. It's a bit risky, maybe you don't want to do that, but there's a situation where it's just a win to remove a modifier that you don't want and to raise the tier of the one that you like. So this is definitely something that you can attempt. This is not a scenario that is going to pop up too often, but if it does, it's really valuable to do that. Once you do the reforge, and when you have you block the suffix, you reforge and you hit the cast speed or the crit multi on the suffix, so when your suffixes are done, then you again craft suffixes cannot be changed, and there you have to craft on the harvest bench prefix, you need to reforge speed. And this is where you have a chance to get projectile speed. There's a lot of modifier that you can hit with the speed. Luckily, the suffix are full, so you cannot hit any modifier over there, but still there's the attack speed that you can hit, and there's also, I believe, slower projectile that is with the speed modifier. So as long as you don't hit faster projectile, you need to craft again, suffix cannot be changed, and you do the harvest craft reforge speed. The annoying part is you can fill the prefixes. If you fill the prefixes, the only option that you have is to keep the glove as they are, or to try to annul one prefix. This is going to be a 50-50 basically, because you have 3 suffix, 3 prefix. So the annulment is a 50-50, but you have a chance that you are going to completely break the gloves. If you annul the 3.5 crit chance, it's over. This is done. You start over, because there is no way to get that one back. If you annul the critical multiplier or the faster casting, try to annul again, so you have more chance this time to annul a prefix, and then you can do suffixes cannot be changed and do the second step of the craft with reforged crit or reforged caster to get back the suffixes and to go back from that step. I know it's a bit difficult, it's a bit complex. There is a video from Lolcohol that you can check. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'm not sure it's exactly up to date, because they changed some modifier pool, and I believe the craft got a bit more difficult. And I think in his video he missed a few steps, a few advice. Like I feel like he got a bit lucky in his video, and there's a few things that we should mention on top of what he did, but this is pretty much the step that you need to follow, and if you want to watch the craft live, you can check his video. So definitely a good video for sure. Just be careful, because it's a bit old now, so I'm not 100% sure that it's perfectly up to date, but this is still working the same way pretty much. One last thing maybe on how to craft the body armor if you want to go for that eventually. You need the base Twilight Regalia. You need item level 86. Be careful of that. Many people do that mistake, not going for the right item level. If you have the money, go for some quality. 27, I think this is ideal right now for the cost efficiency. Like 28, 29, and 30 are really expensive for what it is. But of course, more quality is better if you have the money. Then when you have the base, you just go with a 1-socket resonator with dense fossil. This is it. And this is how you craft this kind of body armor. You slam the dense fossil until you have a good amount of energy shield. For the price of the base, I believe you want at least 1100 energy shield. Otherwise, it's not worth paying that much for the base. Once you have the prefixes, you only care about the prefixes. If you get lucky with the suffixes, fine, but you only care with the prefixes when you do that. Once you are done with the prefixes, you have the good amount of energy shield. You use Eldritch Chaos. You need to have the Eater of Worlds to be dominant, which means that the tier of your Eater of Worlds is going to be higher than the other one. And basically, you can just use one currency and not have the other influence, or you use this one here and this one there, to make sure that this one is higher. But if you don't have any influence yet, you just put the lower currency with this one, with the Eater of Worlds, and you don't use the red orb, and it's going to be dominant because this is the only one on the body armor. Then when you use the Eldritch Chaos Orb, it's only going to reroll the suffixes. And you can do that until you are happy with the result. Mostly what you are likely to be looking for is going to be as much intelligence as possible, because this is going to be extra energy shield. But also you will want some resistance probably. If you have an open suffix and you didn't craft like me flat energy shield, then you can also craft something on top. You could craft like hybrid dexterity intelligence. This is really nice because we need both of them, or some extra resistance if you need that. Maybe one additional thing that you could be interested about is the Watcher's Eye if you want to sink your money into the build. Basically, you can add precision and clarity to the build, level 1, because you won't have more mana to put into that. If you have Enlightened 4, you can actually get precision and clarity level 1. Then you can take advantage of that to get some more modifiers on the build. So I think what are the best modifier that you can have is the crit multi and the mana as extra energy shield. Not giving us too much because we have a low mana pool, but it's going to be like 400, 500 extra energy shield, so this is not so bad. And the crit multi, of course, it's nice because we are a crit build. And then on top of that, I did put a count for anything that we could make use of. There is a few that are fine. There is spell suppress while affected by grace. Maybe if we get that modifier, this is something that we could respec a bit in the tree. Like I'm only level 92 right now, but maybe if we have some more points, we can get this cluster here for some spell suppression chance, and then with the Watcher's Eye, maybe that would be enough to justify going into spell suppress. Then we have like a chance to blind on hit with grace. It's not like amazing, but blinding the enemy are less likely to hit us, so it's another additional layer of defense. We have some movement speed with grace, not exceptional, but why not? A chance to evade, also good. More crit chance is really not too good. I just put it here because this is some extra thing, but almost crit cap, so this one I think is really not worth paying extra money if you find it for the same price on the Watcher's Eye. With these two, it's fine, but don't pay extra for this. Gain energy shield per hit while affected by discipline. This is quite good, I think, because we are hitting quite a lot with many projectiles, so that should be a really good layer of defense. And consecrated ground you create while affected by zealotry, cause enemy to take some increased damage. This is really good because this is on the increased damage is on the enemy side, so this is a multiplier which is at the end of your damage calculation. So this is really good as well. I believe the two best here should be the defensive ones for grace, and the zealotry, this one, and probably the discipline. So, and another thing that I also forgot to mention, I didn't invest into Pantheon yet. I need to get them. This is definitely Soul of Lunaris that you want to go for. There's a few reasons for that. First, the avoid projectile that have chained. Since we have the Mercenary all the time, you're gonna get hit because of the Mercenary, because he doesn't have as much defenses as we have and everything. and projectile from him is gonna change to you. And there's some maps with like for porcupines or stuff like that where it can be really dangerous. So chain avoidance is really good. Reduce elemental damage taken when you've been hit. Yeah, you are getting hit quite a lot. We block the hit, but we still count as being hit when we block. So this is really good. The chance to avoid projectile really good. Additional physical reduction good. Movement speed good. Like everything is really good on this one. And then there is flexibility on the minor Pantheon. I like this one. I should get the reduced attack speed for enemy that hit us, but I'm gonna work on that. Maybe for some maps modifier that are really bad with minus elemental resistance and so on, and fire ground, that one could be useful for some scenarios. Mostly it's not, because we have so much regen, and the degen on the ground is not really an issue, I feel, for us, but there will be some scenarios where it's more annoying, so that can be useful. So this is pretty much it for today. If you have any question, leave a comment. Please like, share and subscribe, and until my next video, take care of yourself and bye.
Last night I had a dream, dropped the mirror on stream. Oh my god, what's so clean, best thing I've ever seen. Mirror, mirror, mirror.